Back. I'm all right. Oh, it's not now.
Hi, folks. It's Friday here. News desk report for you. I'm here with Jessie George, our lovely guest this week. Jessie, do you want to, introduce yourself, say a few words?
My name is Jessie George. I'm glad to be here. I'm really excited, a little nervous at the same time. So nice to meet you as well. Yeah, happy Friday to everybody. Let's have fun.
Yes, happy Friday. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us. All right, so we've changed our order this week. So we're actually going to start with our icebreaker. And so I'm going to ask Jessie an icebreaker. He does not know the question beforehand, so just right off the top of your head, is there an album that you've been playing on repeat, listening to recently?
Oh man, not necessarily an album, maybe a artist that I
Yeah,
do. Yeah, like my mood is really mellow. I'm a really laid back, really calm, chill kind of guy. So I've been my favorite artist is Michelle Ndegeocello. Kind of like a R&B jazz, kind of really melodic, like a really she's a really a lot of spoken word and just like a lot of she's a really good bass player. So I usually play that every day when I get home from work, and it really puts me in a nice little melodic mood and really calms my nerves. So yeah, like she's awesome. So yeah, I wouldn't
that's
say not an album, but her as an artist, just all her albums. I definitely listen to her a lot. That's
yeah.
my go-to.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, so I'll answer mine. I think have more of an artist than an album. I've been listening to a lot of Fall Out Boy recently. That's like my favorite band of all
All
time.
out. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think recently I've had Folie à Deux on repeat a lot. So listening to a lot of those songs and really just connecting with those and enjoying it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Medicine.
Yeah. All right. We're going to jump into this day in music. So I'm going to start back in 2019. David Gilmour's guitar collection set several auction records when 130 instruments went up to bid at Christie's in New York. I think I remember this actually. Among the items was former Pink Floyd frontman's Black Strat, which was sold for $3.975 million. A 1954 Fender Stratocaster, which was sold for $1.8 million. A 1958 Gretsch White Penguin sold for $447,000. And a 1955 Gibson Gold Top Les Paul also sold for $447,000. The Stratocaster and the Gibson were used on the recording of Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Pink Floyd. So that was pretty big.
Wow. Wow. You say you remember this. Which one did you buy?
I didn't buy any of them, but I do remember it being on the news, I think. So
I would be able to afford a whistle. This is crazy. But hey, he's one of the greatest guitarists of all time. So it makes sense.
yeah, it
Records
does.
attached to that stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. But Jesus. Wow. That was not too long ago either.
No.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You got the next one?
Oh yeah. Concert organizers at Paul McCartney gig in Petersburg, Russia, hired 3 jets to spray dry ice and clouds to prevent raining from the concert. The gig was Paul McCartney's 3,000th performance, having played 2,535 gigs with the Quarrymen and the Beatles, 140 gigs with the Wings, and 325 solo shows. Um, wow. Let me figure out you can throw a couple ice cubes in the sky and change the weather. That I didn't know. Never heard that before. You can really pour dry ice in clouds and stop it
Yeah.
from raining.
I hadn't heard that either. When I read that, I was actually really surprised. I honestly wondered if there were laws or something around it, like who owns the airspace and if that was even allowed. So that was really interesting.
But it's very interesting. I don't know. I mean, I've been to a couple outdoor concerts, man, and the weather got kind of really bad, and there wasn't no dry house around that time. So I don't know. That's pretty interesting, though. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
Yeah. All right. In 1999, Jamiroquai, I think I'm saying that right, went
Wow.
#1 on the UK album chart with his album Synchronized, or their album. This was the group's second #1 album.
Yeah, I remember Jamiroquai. I used to love him back when I was in high school. Space Cowboy. Um,
Oh yeah.
Traveling Without Movement. Man, they had some great albums, man. They had some great MTV videos too, as well, man. They used to travel back and forth like on a little escalator, man. They were pretty good. They were pretty good. Yeah, I love that group.
Cool.
Love that group. Mariah Carey made her 6th U.S. #1 single with "I'll Be There." It hit #2 in the UK and was also U.S. #1 hit for the Jackson 5 in 1970. Yeah, she was on fire. She came out in 1990.
Yeah, that was really.
Yeah, she came out in 1990. I think her first 5 hits went #1, and then that was her 6th. So in 2 years, she already racked up. Racked up six #1 hits, man. So
yeah, she just shot right to the top.
Man, legendary. She'll go down as one of the greatest voices of all time.
She will.
Yeah.
All right, in 1981, Stars on 45, which was a Dutch band I learned this morning. Also, the title of the song, which was a medley of Beatles songs that was set to a disco beat, and that went #1 on the US single chart on this day in 1981. This set the way for other Stars on medleys, including a Stevie Wonder medley, Punk Songs, Status Quo, and Chas and Dave. And, I listened to that this morning, the Beatles one, and it was pretty fun. It was really, fresh for the time, I think. And it's hard to pull off, and medleys can be difficult to do, but they really tackled some big undertakings with those.
Yeah, I heard it for the first time this morning too, and kind of catchy.
It is catchy, yeah.
Yeah, it got me bobbing. Yeah. For the disco era, of course, it had to make you bounce.
Yes.
David Bowie recorded "Space Oddity" at Trident Studios, London. The song was re-released in 1975 and became a UK #1. The song was written about Major Tom, a fictional astronaut that Bowie referenced in "Ashes to Ashes," "Halo Space Boy," and "Black Star." Shylee, are you familiar with this song?
I'm not actually super familiar with David Bowie's music. I should be. I've heard a few of his hits, but this is one that I want to look into a little more, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was released in '69, but it went #1 when it got re-released in, what was that, 75? I'm like, well, I mean, I want to know why was that gap so why didn't it hit #1 when it was originally released, and why did it take until 75 to go to the #1?
Yeah.
That was interesting to me.
Yeah. Also in 1969, the first of a 3-day festival in Newport, California, that featured a number of big name artists like Creedence Clearwater Revival, Marvin Gaye, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Janis Joplin, and more. And actually, Jimi Hendrix received $125,000 for his appearance, which was the highest ever paid fee for a rock act at the time. I actually did the math and accounted for inflation. Over the years, that would be worth $1,111,285 today for one act. So that I found really interesting and had to look up the math to see what that would be worth today in 2025. So
yeah, Jimmy was a man. I wonder whoever was at that festival even remember what was going on at that festival. I think that was '69 was a year of the festivals. Wasn't Woodstock the same year?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Drunk Talk TV Brilliance Ambassadors Program Premium members refer people with the code for them to sign up, and your reward is $10 per sign up, which becomes payable about 30 days later.
Hey everybody, Dan here from Drum Talk TV and Drum Talk TV Brilliance. Hey, how would you like to make bank by being a premium member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance? It's easy. Like, you're a music fan, right? That's why you joined. How many other music fans do you know, right? So what if they got a discount for joining if you referred them and you got $10 for each one you refer? I mean, you'd pretty much have to be a doofus like this to miss out on something like that, right? Because being fellow music fans, we all know fellow music fans. So go ahead, invite your friends with your own code. We'll tell you how in a minute. But that way you can enjoy things like our live stream concerts, our fan Q&As with big artists, producers, and record executives, our twice-a-month game shows, and other fun things in Drum Talk TV Brilliance with your friends while giving them a discounted invitation, and you make bank. So there you go. So follow the link in this post. If you're not already a premium member, become a premium member. And if you are a premium member, you'll get an email real soon to show how to get your own invite code where you can tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. Tell 20 friends. That's $200. Wait, what? You'd have to be like this to miss out on that. You're not like that, are you? Invite your friends. Let's have some fun together. Healthy escapism away from the nonsense and the drama and the craziness online on social. Join us, Drum Talk TV Brilliance. We're here for the fun of it. Oh, and at any time, you can become a premium member, refer your friends, and make some bank.
Pretty cool program that we've got going on over at Drum Talk TV Brilliance there. So also over at Drum Talk TV Brilliance, we have the Steve Gadd Drumming Challenge running through June 30th. He's played with Al Di Meola, Simon and Garfunkel, Steely Dan, and more. Free members of Drum Talk TV Brilliance can send in 2 submissions to the challenge, and premium members can send in unlimited submissions. So it looks like we have a challenge promo video up.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Steve Gadd Drumming Challenge, running through June 2025. Play along to tracks featuring the man who's played with Al Di Meola, Simon and Garfunkel, Eric Clapton, Peter Gabriel, Steely Dan, and more. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Pick from 36 designs, and only shipping in the US. First place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. The tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. They will not get muted or pulled on our platform. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site, which has a free tier and a premium tier. Free members can send in 2 videos. Premium members can send however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, fan praise, and sound. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Submissions open until June 30th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun!
The other day, Drum Talk TV founder Dan Schinder co-hosted an episode of Under the Influence with Lou Calderola, where Steve Gadd was the theme, and they shared clips that may inspire you. Also, winners of the recent Gavin Harrison and Physical Graffiti challenges will be announced by Dan on Sunday, June 22nd, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So look out for that.
As far as online artist Q&As on the premium version of the site, we have McStein and Miniman marked down for Thursday, June 26th at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. times. Fans will have the chance to ask them questions face-to-face, while there is free member tier on the site. Being part of the premium member tier gives you access to this. So again, please sign up premium at www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com. and you will be sent access the day of the session.
Guitarist Randy McStein and drummer Marco Miniman are doing a Q&A where premium members of DrumTalkTVBrilliance.com will get to ask them questions face-to-face online. Their credits include, just to name a few, In Continuum, Steven Wilson, and McStein and Miniman. Go figure. They have a new album out titled 3. You will not want to miss this live Q&A session. Thursday, June 26th, 12 p.m. PDT, 3 p.m. EDT, 8 p.m. UK time. So read the details in the post description to see how you can get involved, and we'll see you there.
Awesome. The next Drum Talk TV Brilliance game show will be on Tuesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a game of majority rules, celebrating 50 years of music from 1975. Rather than getting points for choosing the correct answer like in music trivia, you get points by choosing the answer you think most people present in the game will vote for. And you can win prizes with our prize wheels. So here's a graphic we just pulled up. Related to the theme, a winner of a previous game, Paul Wrights, will co-host a vlog with Dan this Sunday, June 22nd, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, titled Keeping Music of 1975 Alive, where they'll each share 3 picks of favorite 1975 albums. So look forward to that as well.
This past Wednesday on Yes Shift, Dan and his son Steven interviewed former Genesis guitarist Stephen Hackett about his latest live album, The Land Stands Up Live, at the Royal Albert Hall. And then yesterday, Dan interviewed Spin Doctors drummer Aaron Comas.
Cool. That Aaron Comas interview was really interesting yesterday. I did catch it. So that was,
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's really fun to watch,
Good.
watch Dan interview. So after our news show at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time, Dan will go live with Dr. Janice Ying for another episode of Drumming Injury Talk, with the theme being neck pain. Then tomorrow, Saturday, June 21st, 12 p.m. Pacific, Dan will interview Uriah Heep, drummer Russell Gilbrook. And on June 22nd, 6 p.m. Pacific, he'll interview Caitlin Califas, who has drummed for Cyndi Lauper. So look forward to all of those as well. Those sound very fun.
All right. Shifting.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, hours after Stephen finished broadcasting a Yes Shift News Desk edition, news came out of the passing of guitarist Johnny Bruns, who had been battling cancer the past 20 years. Johnny had been involved in the Yes-related projects, being part of such tribute bands as Roundabout, Total Mass Retain, and performing with Yes members, including the bands Yoso and Circa. Stephen went live the next day to share some words on Johnny, whom he and Dan had the privilege to interview back in January.
Very sad to hear of that passing.
Yeah.
That, again, just hours after that broadcast. So
Blessings.
yeah.
Blessings.
Another passing that happened this week, Lou Christie, singer-songwriter behind hits like Lightning Strikes and I'm Gonna Make You Mine, passed away on June 17th at the age of 82. No cause of death has been confirmed, according to reporting from USA Today. Interestingly, his song Rhapsody in the Rain was banned from the radio in 1966 after its release for suggestive lyrics, which was a fun fact that I learned while researching him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm very sad to hear about this. He had a really
Yes.
long music career from what I saw.
Nice.
Yeah.
Condolences.
Yeah.
James Prime, keyboard player for Deacon Blue, passed away this week at the age 64. The BBC reported he passed after a short battle with cancer, which put him in intensive care last week. The Scottish band thanked fans for the kind message in the last few weeks, saying, meant so much to Jim, his family, and us. They will continue on their scheduled tour later this year.
Condolences to the family and band members of James Prime as well. When he was in intensive care, from the article I read, he did give the band a go-ahead to continue on the tour later this year. So they will likely be playing in honor of him. So,
Yeah, he will want that.
Yeah. All right, we've got to shift into the music news. Jessie, take us away.
All right. According to Parade article, 81-year-old Roger Daltrey of The Who was knighted by King Charles III as a part of the annual King's Birthday Honors List. He was knighted for his charity work, as he has been a patron of the Teenage Cancer Trust for 25 years, and annually takes charge of the concert series at the Royal Albert Hall. King Charles III also knighted actor Gary Oldman and footballer David Beckham during the event. Beckham's wife and former Spice Girl Victoria can now be referred to as Lady Beckham. Oh my.
Yeah. I saw that news and thought that it's really great of them all to be honored for their charity work
Nice.
with this. So it's really fun to hear.
Oh my. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. On June 3rd, members of Heart, the band, reported on Facebook that 2 irreplaceable instruments had been stolen in Atlantic City, New Jersey, at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Nancy Wilson posted on Facebook, and her one-of-a-kind purple sparkle baritone Telecaster, as well as Paul Moak's vintage 1966 Gibson EM50 mandolin, were taken in the theft, and the band has offered an award to anyone with information leading to the return of the instruments. Fortunately, Nancy Wilson did announce on June 12th that her Telecaster had been returned, and she thanked the Atlantic City Police Department for their work. The mandolin is still missing, and they are still offering the reward for its return. No questions asked, according to their Facebook post.
Yeah, I hope it pops up.
Yeah, me too.
Late Australian musician Conway Savage will be honored with a new music festival in Dundalk, Ireland. Billboard reported. The event will be called These Are the Waves. A celebration of music began playing in 2000 when he performed with the Falling Joy's Susie Higgy. Savage played with various bands in the 1980s, but rose to prominence in 1990 when he joined Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds as pianist, organist, and occasionally backing vocalist. He left the band in 2017 to receive treatment for a brain tumor, passed away in 2018 as a result of health issues at the age of 58.
So this will be a fun music festival in Dundalk, Ireland.
Yeah.
Sad to hear that he passed away at such a young age, but this is a great way to honor him, I think. So
Absolutely, that will be a good honor.
Yeah.
Good way to remember him by. Absolutely.
3 of the Beatles' sons have come out and said that they're teaming up on an upcoming single titled Rip Off, Billboard reported. Sean Ono Lennon, John Lennon's son, James McCartney, and Zach Starkey, son of Ringo Starr, will share the vocals on the song. It will be released under the band Mantra of the Cosmos, which has been active since 2023, which the band features Starkey, as well as Sean Ryder and Bez of Happy Mondays and Andy Bell of Ride. Starkey has been quick to dismiss the idea of a mini Beatles reunion, saying that the Mantra of the Cosmos is with them in it. Basically, it will be James of the Cosmos and Sean of the Cosmos, he said. When a reporter suggested he needed George Harrison's son Danny for a full house, he stated, "No, I don't. Why do I?" I found this really interesting that they're doing this. I'm also interested to see if the song, how it will turn out, and if there's any sort of Beatles influence in there, whether it's intentional or not. You know, they grew up around their father's music and just that style of music. So I wonder if that has impacted them in any way in their music careers.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
During the Download Festival in the UK last weekend, Korn announced that they are recording their new album entirely on tape. Cozine reported the band will be live in studio together in the same room to capture the energy and the chemistry that defined their early records. The last full-length album, Requiem, came out February 2022 and debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot Hard Rock Albums chart. I don't think I said the album name right. I don't know, but I do remember listening to this album. It was pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yeah. According to Billboard, pop punk band Good Charlotte have announced their 8th studio album called Motel Du Cap, the first full-length album in 7 years. The album is set to be released on August 8th, and they teased the album with a billboard on Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles, featuring a photo of the band, the album name, and the date. That was all. That was the whole teaser. Very, I think, pop punk of them to do that. They also posted a teaser video on Instagram with the caption, "Waldorf's best historical landmark since 1996. Come stay with us and bask in the beautiful Maryland sunshine. Book your reservation at goodcharlotte.com." So really interesting news and an interesting way for them to announce a new album after 7 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. Devo and the B-52s have announced a joint headline tour as a continuation of their farewell tours earlier this decade. Pitchfork reported B-52's member Fred Schneider said in a press release that the band had sworn in 2022 that they won't go on tour again, instead playing in special situations that don't require tour travel. However, the opportunity for a small tour with Devo was one they just couldn't say no to, according to Snyder. Leanne Lovich will support the acts on all 11 tour dates, which start in late September and end in early November. The concert will kick off in Toronto on September 14th. Oh, it's my birthday. Ending in Houston, Texas on November 2nd.
Cool.
Maybe I might do that. Might do that for my birthday.
That sounds like
I'll be in Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, according to a Parade article, Sting and Andy Summers, 2/3 of the 80s rock band The Police, are collaborating for the first time since their 2007-2008 reunion tour with the song Murder by Numbers with a Twist. Jazz bassist and 8-time Grammy winner Christian McBride invited Summers and Sting to record a new version of the song, which will be featured on McBride's upcoming album, Without Further Ado, Volume 1, due out August 29th. So pretty cool. Look out for that. That'll be a fun twist to hear on their song.
Nice. Yes, yeah, I agree. Lenny Kravitz announced his first tour dates in Australia in over 10 years. Billboard reported that the 6-date Australian leg of his Blue Electric Light Tour will kick off November 18th in Sydney. Kravitz will play in Newcastle, Brisbane, Melbourne, Madeira, and Adelaide, ending the leg on November 29th.
Pretty cool. Over 10 years since he's been down south, down under. So,
man, it'll be like his first time. He's a legend. Can't go wrong with him, man.
Yeah. All right. Louder Sound reported that the release of Genesis's The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway 50th anniversary box set has been delayed to the late autumn. The band originally announced in November that the box set would come out in March, but that date was postponed to June 13th. According to the band's social media statement, unexpected production issues have further delayed the release. The band said, "We understand you have been patiently counting out time and will update with a final delivery date as soon as it's available." So, for any fans who have been waiting since the original announcement in November, it's definitely unfortunate, but sometimes that's the way the industry is. Hopefully, the late autumn date is the last time they have to delay it, and it will be out by the end of this year, hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
Billboard reported Tuesday that Hatebreed's guitarist has exited the band's tour after being diagnosed with non-cancerous brain tumor. The band announced his departure on social media, stating that he began experiencing symptoms that could indicate a stroke. Guitarist Wayne Losnowski sought medical care in France and is now heading back home to prepare for surgery and recover. Matt Blanchett, who has played bass with the band in November, will fill Lozak's role. First Blood's Carl Schwartz will take over his bass.
Yeah, we hope that he makes a full recovery and heals quickly.
Yes, yes, let's hope so. Yes.
Yeah. All right, Variety reported that this is big news, that 90-year-old bassist Carol Kay has declined induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, citing her long-held dislike for the nickname Wrecking Crew, which was bestowed upon studio musicians of the 1960s. Kay wrote in a Facebook post that she is turning it down because it wasn't something that reflects the work that studio musicians do and did in the golden era of the 1960s recording hits. She went on to call the nickname terrible and insulting. Kay will not be in attendance to the induction, but it's likely the Hall of Fame will induct her in absentia, as they've done for years. They also were going to induct Dolly Parton a few years ago, even though she said she didn't want to be, and then she kind of turned around and said, okay, I guess I will. So they'll continue on without her there, but very interesting to hear her thoughts on it.
Yeah, you think Carol's gonna come and turn around and say yes? You know, she's 90. I don't.
Yeah, unless with a 90-year-old woman.
I don't think we got. I think this might be our last shot.
Yeah.
Over the original Asia Facebook page, June 19th, it was announced that the band Asia is now signed onto Frontiers Music again. The band had previously been signed onto the label from the late 2000s to the mid 2010. They announced that there will be an album of new music in 2026 featuring the lineup that's been performing this past year, featuring founder member Jeff Dowes and new member Harry Whitley, John Mitchell, and Virgil Dante.
Pretty cool. That's good news to hear.
Yeah.
2026 album. That will be very fun. So Asia fans, especially, be on the lookout for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and with that, that is our music news of Friday, June 20th. So thanks for joining us. And anyone watching, if you want to chime in on any of this, the icebreaker, would love to hear some comments. So thanks, Jessie, for joining us. And
yes, thank you for having me. I
next
appreciate it. It was nice. Thank you.
Yeah.